Hello and welcome to Talkin Jake. Myself, Jolly Olive, is back and better than ever. Looks like, for those on the YouTube, it looks like he got his video game upgrades done.
Okay.
Chains popping, the hair's out.
Okay.
The Mets are back. We'll talk that. We'll talk some ball. Maybe Jolly stays for football talk. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe sub and panic. That would be the smart thing. Jolly, it's a big week.
Yeah, you could say that.
For your Mets, for baseball, for people who consume baseball content. It's a Jolly Talkin Jake talking baseball today week.
Oh, where's foolish?
Are you hot right now?
I'm feeling jazzy, but nervous. You know, like when you're like at a party and you've drank a decent bit and you kind of know your limit and you're like, I'm there, but I could see this turning in the next hour.
Oh.
I think that's where I am right now. It's like I'm on the verge of another beer turning the night. So we'll see. I feel good right now.
For those that have no idea, the New York Mets are about to play 3 against the Atlanta Braves. The Mets have a 2-game lead on them in the wild card.
Hard to believe.
What needs to happen in Atlanta? Like, if you get out with 1, is that okay?
So I did the stipulations for today's Shea Station episode. Go check it out if you want more Mets talk. Basically, the Mets win the series, they're good because they'll have the tiebreaker of the Braves. So even if the Braves match them, bing, bang, boom, it's game. If they win 1,
right,
all they would have to do is match what the Braves do against the Royals.
Sure.
So the Royals, who are a whole nother discussion, their 7-game losing streak helps us out a ton because they got to play hard throughout the end of the season. It's true. It's true. If
they were going to play hard without losing 7 games.
I don't know that that's true. I really don't.
I don't think
true.
Losing 7 games is a good thing for the Royals. I think Royals fans will stand by that.
It's a good thing for the Mets.
I think it's a good thing for the Braves if they have to play the 3-legged dog in Kansas City right now.
Point being, if the Mets win 1 of 3, they'll be tied. No, they'll be up a game in the wild card.
Right.
And we'll just need to maintain that game lead. If they get swept, season's over. Like, they could still get in, but the season's over.
You need to win tonight.
You got to win tonight. Tomorrow is
Sevy versus Spencer Schwellenbach. Peter Moylan really likes. How are you guys versus lefties?
Oh,
I thought you were a fan.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, I don't think they're notoriously
Sorry he didn't have this prepared people.
Like another New York team who can't seem to hit the southpaw. No, I think we do all right against them. I don't think there's any crazy splits, I'll tell you right now. Yeah, that's 774 OPS, so they're better against lefties than righties. If you want that, 774 to 729. I need Pete to have
you keep saying that.
I need it, Jake. It was so deflating to be in the stadium screaming Pete Alonso and watching him strike out 4 times.
Was that the chant?
Yeah,
that's kind of a bad chant.
Okay. You weren't
just
there.
being real.
You have no. What would your chant be?
Pete.
Bear.
Pete.
No.
Pete.
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 That sounds like you're saying pee.
Pete. Maybe I am.
Pee. Grow up.
I want you to know this. I'm rooting for your Mets. I think they're fun. I think it'd be okay for the Braves to get a little bit of humble pie. I mean, they lost the guy who was supposed to win the Cy Young, even though they replaced him with a guy who's going to win the Cy Young.
Right.
And they lost last year's MVP, who didn't get replaced by his little brother.
That's a little bit where
Flushings.
I'm at. Like, you should beat this Braves team.
Yes.
You should be better than them.
This is the time.
This is the time.
If they blow this one,
it's over. It's not over, but it's over.
Next year's over.
Next year's over.
It would be as Metsy as it gets.
If they lose all 3 of these games, next year's over.
It's going to be, I mean, they lived, as a fan, I watched a lot of Mets baseball.
Sure.
They lived under that 2022 cloud for a whole year, essentially. Right. They never quite left that bad place.
Yeah.
So this is like, as we talked about today, it's terrifying.
Win tonight.
But it's a perfect way to get in.
Yeah.
It's a perfect way to end the story. It's by conquering the demon, knocking them out of the playoffs like they knocked you out of the division 2 years ago. You have an opportunity to right a wrong and make yourself whole again. So do it. That's where I'm at.
Who in the Mets lineup? If I was going to tune into this Mets-Braves series,
You better.
which I may,
It's playoff baseball.
Yanks, Orioles.
I wish that series mattered a little bit more.
Lindor's been out.
It's not playing tonight either.
Who are the 3 best players on the Mets right now?
Position players and pitchers?
Position players only.
Position players only. You got the 2 up the middle who have just been dynamite. Jose Iglesias and Luis Angel Acuna.
That's insane.
I mean, if I told you in September, hey, by the way, Jeff McNeil and Francisco Lindor out for the season, that kind of feels like death blow. And instead, these 2 guys have stepped up and both hit like 400 as a tandem. So I'd say those 2, and then Alvarez has really found his power stroke again. 5 homers in his last 10 games.
You hate Nimmo.
Nimmo's been fine. I don't hate Nimmo. Relax with that. You asked me who's hot right now.
It's a wild roster, dude.
Going for clicks right now, and you're nasty for it.
It's a wild roster, and I think everyone can go off. I can't believe how good Jose Iglesias is.
This offense might be better than the one we saw 2 years ago.
Doesn't make sense. I like the starting pitching. I'm worried about the bullpen, but Edwin can go freak mode in the postseason. He already kind of has.
He's all you need.
Okay, enough about the Mets. I'm rooting for you. I think they're fun.
Yay.
I think I like their little 3, as people are calling them.
Little 3.
That's slightly toxic. That was slightly toxic.
Should be into that. What's your brand? Sorry.
Big week for you, Jolly.
Yeah, I'm scary.
Talking baseball. Baseball today.
Tune in tomorrow.
New video about
Chris O.
the Condor. Bet you didn't know that.
Socials?
We've got it down to a bucket of teams. There's only a couple things that matter. Your Mets and Braves matter.
Yeah.
Like Brewers and Phillies, they're kind of done.
Yeah.
Check in with you when we see you.
I mean, Pat Murphy's Brewers aren't going to stop playing hard. You can count on that. You can count on that.
Snake bitten. Padres, Dodgers could matter. I'm not bought in.
Really?
I think the Dodgers are just going to win. If the Dodgers win one of these games,
yeah. But
they're
how
fine. And they're the Dodgers.
But how awesome would it be
Yeah, but
if the Padres swept the Dodgers and won the West?
but they're the Dodgers.
And?
They don't do this.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Any team can start. You know?
I think Landon Knack and the boys might even get it done tonight.
Is that
Because
who's
you
going?
know what? The starting pitching for the Dodgers hasn't mattered all year.
Yeah.
Because of the 3 generational. Is BBD okay?
Yeah, what's going on back
It's
there?
like 8 sneezes.
We're talking here.
Um,
Trying to have a conversation.
talking here. Talking. Yeah, I don't know. It would be entertaining.
My
And
king
my heart's
tonight.
open. I love
Come
my
on.
king. My king.
Thank you.
Robert Suarez probably gets clipped by Ohtani. Walk off. This comes out after. Now you think it's not pre-recorded. That they're kind of out.
Yeah.
Like even D-backs and Padres, they're going to be there. Something colossal would have to happen. Don't.
D-backs is no guarantee. And you keep acting like it is.
Stop.
They're wild card 3 right now. What do you want?
Number 1 offense.
Okay.
Just by the stats.
Who's got the game 1 ball?
You and it like that. Fuck it, roll it out there. Brandon Pfaadt. He did it game 1 last year
Okay.
in Milwaukee. How'd that go?
Okay.
Remember that?
We living in last year?
Remember that? Yes, they won the NL. And they're going to win it again.
I don't recall.
You've been yelling about the Detroit Tigers all day.
Have fun.
Why do you like them?
Why do I like them?
Yeah.
They're disrupting everything, and I love it.
Okay, you like a disruptor.
I hate when things get set in stone on like the first week of September. That's how the AL looked, man.
Yeah.
Like it was fun for a little bit, then the Mariners busted out and everything kind of got set in stone. And here come the pesky Tigers out of nowhere after selling at the deadline and rolling out 2 starting pitchers for half a season.
Right.
And they're just winning. And they're winning again today. And they get to play the White Sox for their last 3 games.
Yeah.
Dude, if they beat the Rays one more time, they're in. And I don't think a lot of people realize that.
Right.
Like, they're in. Like,
Well,
there's
you're
no question.
underselling the worst baseball team of all time.
It would be different if they had like a chance to not be the worst team ever, but now it's like done. So they have nothing left to play for. Like you could have been like White Sox, come on, pull it together. Like let's avoid history. And the Padres swept them.
They won. Scooble.
Yeah, they won. Oh, that's confirmed. Final.
Yeah.
So I mean, you get one more against Tampa Bay, and you sweep the White Sox like everybody else does. See you later.
Scooble to Bo Brisky today. That's all they needed.
Wait, is that former Yankee legend?
No.
No, Brooks Kriske.
Thank you.
Sorry, come on,
Thank
same
you.
name.
I can't believe you brought that up.
Same name. Is he the wild pitch guy?
The fact you brought that up in an election year is insane. Who were you saying is the third best player on the Tigers again?
Position player?
Position players only.
I hate that rule. That's such a bullshit rule.
Yeah.
Matt Vierling? Riley Green, Kerry Carpenter. I think it's Matt Vierling.
Yeah.
Probably. Fuck a wee ball. Who cares?
BBD said it before the show. I saw a hug. I forget if I think Riley Green hit a homer and Parker Meadows was waiting for him. And they had a young man warehouse hug.
That's nice.
Like they were hopping and bopping.
First tournament run, first time winning a playoff game, that kind of vibe. Special. It's special.
Young and dumb is a powerful thing, and they have that, and they have the Cy Young winner. And if they do wrap it up, which they're probably going to, they'll have the Cy Young winner for game one.
That's so messed up that they're just in.
And you're selling your Orioles stock? Because you're Mr. Oriole. I've seen you buy an Orioles jersey.
I have a Mullins jersey. I do.
It's a horrible purchase.
Oh, okay. I've worn it.
Admit it. That was...
What?
If you could go back and undo that purchase,
Nah, Mullins is
would
one of
you?
my favorite players.
He's a good player. But you paid a pretty... I don't know.
I did.
You wouldn't Gunner if you could
I think
do it
you
again.
could have bought it
I'm not a
online.
Gunner guy. I respect Gunner, but I'm not a Gunner guy.
Are people not talking about this Orioles disaster class enough?
I really don't think they are because the Orioles were kind of just always in.
Right.
But like this team should have competed for the division.
Yes.
And what, they're 6 games back?
The Yankees gave them every opportunity for a month and a half.
On September 4th, the odds to win the division was a coin flip. Yankees were 50.4.
And
now it's 20 days later, 99%.
And you can spin this a couple different ways. Like their trade deadline was kind of a disaster. Like they put 2
Eloy
guys
sent down.
and Trevor Rogers. That's 2 guys you traded for like decent prospects for, and they're
Right.
both in AAA. Like Sir Anthony, I think was okay for them, not great. And then Zach Eflin got hurt, so he missed like 2 weeks. And that's where they lost a lot of games.
Yeah, that's true.
On the other side of it, you won 100 games last year, and like it's basically the same roster. So I really don't know why this year was so different. I mean, you added Corbin Burns on top of that. That's been the discussion all year. But dude, they have no juice. Like they have given me nothing to really get excited over outside of Anthony Santander carrying the offense every other night.
The answer's Adley.
Kinda. I mean, 717 OPS on the year is like a shocking number for him.
Dude, I went on, I don't know, you might have caught some of this. I went on a catcher
Let's roll this
kick
back.
last
Take it from
year.
the top.
Not a catcher kick last year. Because I looked at every playoff team.
Yeah.
And I was kind of mad at my Yankees for missing the dance. And every playoff team was like getting catching performance. So it's an evolving theory. Yanks with Austin Wells this year.
It's kind of like a bonus to your lineup that you need.
It feels good.
Yeah.
A bonus that like all the playoff teams, at least last year, cashed on.
Yeah.
Yainer Diaz, Salvi. We're getting points there.
Okay. I like this.
God, is Minnesota going to make it?
JT Realmuto, if you want to go NL.
Their last year, I think, was a better example. Braves always have
Contreras,
2 catchers.
Will Smith.
Yeah, like
Braves have
there's
2 catchers.
I
Rangers
think,
had to look at 2 catcher thing.
I do think it becomes a
Moreno.
little lamer than I think because Moreno last year he had that stat like when he started they were like 44 and 11.
Which
or
used to
whatever.
be the Adley stat, right? That they would just win
He
every
used
series.
to be the Adley stat.
Crazy.
I mean it's I'm guessing Adley's hurt
Just playing through something.
because Adley Rutschman hitting as a left-handed hitter this year is 220, 293, a 640 OPS.
640?
Against right-handed pitching.
That's a 1-1 pick.
He's mauled lefties. Like,
Sure.
he's still been good. But, yeah, a right-handed pitcher versus Adley Rutschman has made him an 80, OPS plus player.
One thing I will say that I think shouldn't get understated and probably will is that Jordan Westberg is back.
Yes.
And he, was their most valuable position player for most of the season until he got hurt. And that could be something. It really could be.
It's where I, unfortunately, have given in to the analytics freak shows. Apologies to everyone tuning in. Was I in the MLB building today? Yeah.
Okay, I was waiting.
I don't have to talk about that.
I was waiting.
Bob Gibson conference room.
Out.
There was a funny moment. We're like, wait, is Bob Gibson
Here?
It's like, oh, they named the conference room.
Brain blast.
Ryan Mountcastle, back.
Okay.
Ramon Urias, back.
Okay.
Jordan Westberg, back. Orioles just need a taste of good. God, is it going to be Corbin Burns versus
They're still
Tarek
scary.
Skubal?
Whoa.
Is that the Jolly Olive Bowl? Are you streaming that game?
I'm glued to the TV.
I think you might.
That's a crazy matchup. That is winner wins the series, essentially.
You'd like to think, but then there's Albert Suarez. What do you want to see happen this postseason? Heavy question.
Ooh. I would you know what? You might not expect this out of me, but I'm going to say it.
Yankees World Series.
I want to see a 1 seed make it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of...
This is a pivot year.
It's a little bit weird for me because my team is going to be a 5 or 6 if they make it,
Right.
and I obviously want to see them win. I don't love the notion that it creates if they do win. I'm happy as a fan, but it would be the 3rd year in a row that the bottom NL seed would be making it to the World Series. It doesn't set a good precedent for this new format, a format which I do like because you're getting this last week of September that's really hype, really
Right.
cool. A lot of cool things are happening. But a top seed needs to be the team. The only team that we've really seen do that has been the Astros.
Right.
To be the top seed, conquer the DS, make the World Series.
The Yankees this year.
The Yankees have a shot to do it this year.
No, you're right. This is a big test year for the format because as much as we'd love to give it a 10-year sample, which is probably the proper way, even 20 years.
That's what the wild card game got. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Jimmy's already eyeing up. The Yankees aren't going to play for
a week, I think, right?
6 days.
Sunday to Saturday.
Baseball's a playing sport.
The biggest thing that I've noticed is that I did a video on Rocktober last year, and Rockies swept their way to the World Series, crazy run, whatever. They rested for 8 days.
Yeah.
And then they played the Red Sox, and they fell flat in their face. And that's just the first break in the playoffs now. That's 1 week. That's your reward for winning your division. I think the biggest thing that will tell us everything about the theories of the wild card weekend is how the Phillies do.
Okay.
Back-to-back years, Phillies were a wild card team, went on
Okay.
pretty impressive runs. Last year, Game 7 of the CS, it's still a good run. If they come out and they lose the DS this year with an improved roster, that kind of tells you everything you need to know, I think. A little bit.
I like that.
So I'm looking at their first
I don't mind
round
using
a
that.
lot because they're the evidence of the wild card being beneficial, beating the Braves twice. If they're the top seed and they lose, I think that tells you a lot.
That was a nice piece of information, Jolly.
Thank you. Subscribe to Jelly Off. Sorry. Stopped him dead in his tracks.
Can the Mets win the World Series?
Yeah, of course. Just got to get in. Yeah. Any team can win.
I think they can.
I think they can. I really do.
What playoff team cannot win the World Series? Fun game.
Fun game. Ooh.
I think my rudest one that I have no hesitation throwing out.
Let's say it on 3. 1, 2, 3. Dodgers. Okay.
Dodgers. No pitching?
No pitching.
You don't believe?
I don't believe you can win a World Series without pitching.
They have some pitching.
Some.
Yoshinobu Yababobo.
It's a lot of pressure for him.
It's a lot of pressure.
It's a ton of
he
pressure. Who starts game 2?
Jack Flaherty.
Okay. Who starts game 3?
Walker Buehler.
Give me one good start.
He's pitched well in playoffs previously. What about Ben Kasparius?
Sorry?
That's a guy in their bullpen.
Is that real?
Might be a Yukon guy. We'll look that up
oh
later.
my God.
I will tell you what.
Some names in this bullpen.
The Dodgers don't have pitching. I'm not trying to Mythbusters you. They have 7 guys that I have seen pitch in playoff games. And then the other guy is Michael Kopech, who's been there. So they have 8. They're 8 deep in the bullpen right now.
You might see some fat bullpen games from the Dodgers. They might do the Tigers
when the Braves did that?
Yeah, that's fair. There's a world. Why'd you say Guardians?
Say the Dodgers. It just can't.
Oh, okay. What is that? They might be the top seed in the AL.
The lineup. They're Angel Martinez, Kyle Manzardo. 1-2 punch.
Dogs.
Kind of got you there.
I'm sorry, Guardian fans.
Let me ask you this. Do you think the Royals also can't win the World Series? Kind of the same thing. With a better rotation.
If the Royals get in, which I don't know.
I don't know that they're going to get in.
I don't know. It's becoming a very sad story.
Yeah.
I'd like to think there's a world where their starting pitching can be just so good that they can change the whole narrative.
Win a bunch of 1-0 games.
Like, they've had some guys in their bullpen kicking. Like, they might be able to pitch so good, which is unfair to the Guardians, but it's also not because, dude, okay, you didn't like the Dodgers starting pitching? Tell me about the Guardians.
The game 2 starter, I think, is Matt Boyd. That's crazy.
Isabibe, game 1. Tanner Bybee.
Isabibe, game 1. He's
gets
like
the pill in game 3 again?
Ben Lively?
You going Ben Lively.
Or bullpen game.
Or a bullpen.
I'm excited to see.
Is it a bullpen game October?
It might be a bullpen October.
Those are so gross.
I know, but like that's kind of been the form. The D-backs did it last year. And they won some big games because of it.
Baseball needs to change. Jimmy's pre-mad about it, and I think he's right. They need to change the postseason scheduling.
Yeah, I agree.
Because what are we doing? We're hurting the better teams.
Yeah.
We'll know for sure after this.
The stagger schedule takes away the lined up pitching advantage. You already have the rest versus rust debate.
Okay, so we go 1-game playoff, 7-game DS.
That's what Jerry said
Trev
today.
hated that idea.
Trev was like immediate
that
no.
makes me so happy.
Well, because
a well-thought man liked it. And another man did not.
I asked him on today's show. I said, you were on the 16 Mets. You were a part of a wild card game, and the team lost that game. What was the vibe? Did you guys feel cheated? You were the top seed in the old format. You would have went straight to the DS. And he said, no. He said, they were the better team that night. We played like shit. We deserved to lose, all that stuff. And I was like, all right. I respect
Jerry's
that
the
answer.
Best.
That's a tough
Even
thing
you
to say.
talking like Jerry sounded cool. Talk like Jerry more.
Do I not sound cool most of the time?
Like, no, they were the better team. We lost.
Which I didn't like to hear.
I would be salty to this day. I would be changing formats everywhere.
Fucking Madison Bumgarner. Noah Syndergaard pitched great that game. People forget.
Know what I remember today?
What?
Noah Syndergaard, investor in John Boy Media.
Wants
Couple
to come
flexes
back.
today.
Yeah.
Wants to come back to the Mets.
Couple soft flexes today.
Don't know if it happens.
Did he pitch this year?
No.
Did he get teach? What did he do?
I think he's just out.
Wow.
Kind of sad story.
Baseball happens quick, huh?
Yep.
Thor.
Harvey. Thor. All those guys.
Don't.
Sorry.
Don't.
That's what we're on the topic.
Noah Syndergaard made this much money playing baseball. Go.
I will select 45.
63.
Oh,
He's okay.
Good for Noah.
We don't have to feel too bad
Good for Noah.
Noah, his
He made out
$63 million and retired at age 32. Find a hobby.
But he doesn't want to retire.
Cook meat.
Get back out there.
Jolly, unless you have anything else baseball-wise you want to get off your chest, I think you're free to leave.
Padres are the
Catch
best
that
team in the
train.
National League.
Yeah? You're drinking the Kool-Aid?
Drinking the Kool-Aid. I really don't want to play them round one. Best team in the American League?
Are the Padres better than the Phillies?
I think so.
Or do we just have Philly fatigue?
That's a good question. Because, like, the Phillies now are different than playoff Phillies because they don't have to worry about a 5-starter.
Their 5th starter that's just been getting knocked.
Destroyed every time.
What would you say,
around.
like a 14-14 ERA in their last 8 starts?
Is that real?
Something like that.
That's crazy.
It's a talking baseball stat.
And those are, like, most of the games they lose. Like, every other game, they're winning 3 out of 4. So they'll be different come playoffs.
Schwarber. Turner.
The lineup's terrifying. I get it.
Boom. Castellanos. Stott. Real Muto. Marsh.
How many runs against Edwin Diaz?
Johan Rojas.
0.
Cody Clemens off the bench.
He's been nice.
Austin Hayes.
That's the difference with the Phillies a little bit this year.
Edmundo Sosa.
Got that bench depth.
Okay, here's a fun game.
Weston Wilson.
How many players on the Phillies would be the 3rd best player on the Tigers or the Royals?
That's an awesome question. So how many players in the Phillies? Oh, this is a mean question for the Tigers side.
Schwarber, Turner, Harper.
You're saying how many people are better than Matt Vierling on the Phillies?
Yeah.
Former Philly.
Boom, Castellanos, Stott, Real Muto, Marsh.
Oh, yeah.
Edmundo Sosa?
Weston Wilson? Maybe.
All right, it ended up rude. Make
Go
sure you
Tigers.
guys check in with Jolly Olive this week on Talkin Baseball, on Baseball Today. Live streams coming up. A video about Chris Sale. Fuck the Braves, dude. Chris Sale? What's that about?
Both teams might get in still.
Chris Sale was out.
He's back in.
We thought the Braves were trading for him to be a playoff option against the Phillies lefties. Out of like the bullpen.
How's Vaughn Grissom?
He's going to
doing?
win the Cy Young. Vaughn Grissom was ass this year.
OPS plus guess?
-11.
BBD?
60.
1.
Yeah.
Oh, closer.
1.
Good
Negative
trade.
11.
89
is-
plate appearance.
I knew it was around there. I was closer to the pin.
Oh, poor Vaughn. You didn't ask for this.
Thanks, Jolly.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe.
Get your train. All right, we got a little bit of foosball this weekend. And before I even get there, recapping the last football, I was so excited and had to run to a meeting. I forgot to shout out my Broncos. Who won? The 1-2 Denver Broncos. Am I all in? No. But they play one of 2 games in East Rutherford this weekend. But the first one is on Thursday night. How about them? The Dallas Cowboys are 1-2 facing the 1-2 New York Giants. The Giants should be 2-1 if they employed a proper kicker in week 2. Dallas -5.5. I think I'm going to this tailgate. I think the Talkin Giants tailgate. I think there's going to be some clients schmooze a little bit. It's Talkin Yanks night, so I'm not going to the game. I'll tell you what, I think I'm on the G-Men. We talked about this a little bit last time, but they should have beat Washington. How about my guy Jaden Daniels? Hello, welcome to the party. And they lost to Minnesota, who's become America's darling yet again. So the Cowboys, on the other hand, they beat the same Cleveland Browns that the Giants beat. And then they got rolled by New Orleans and then sneaky rolled by Baltimore. I don't know. Never actually bet on the Giants to win because that's not what we do. But they've got a real chance. I like that for them. And then we'll stay. That's the only Thursday game. No Friday game. No Europe game. Sorry, everyone. As I mentioned, we're staying at MetLife for the Jets and the Ponies. My Broncos, I told you guys I got invited to this game twice. Declined. Not happening. Last day of the MLB regular season, it looks like it has a chance to be a good finale. So that's kind of my real reasoning. And I'm still not in on my Broncos. Hey, it was a dominant victory over Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, which, I don't know, they kind of look good. People were excited about Maker. Maker or Baker? Or Wake and Jaker? Again, my heart's not closed off to the idea of Bo Nix because the quarterback game is more random and I think coaching oriented than we think. And that's why, I guess that's why I'm not as excited because I don't think I'm in on Sean Payton. But you guys know I'll get roped in. My fandom kicks in. It's a little fair weather. What you should be watching at 1. Saints-Falcons. Falcons, we talked about it a little bit. They gave the Chiefs a run for their money. They had that comeback win against the Eagles. The Falcons. And the Saints, America's darlings a week ago, blew a game to the Eagles after looking great their first 2 weeks. I think these are your 2 favorites in the South, like Tampa Bay coming back to earth against the Broncos. I don't think they have the hype right now, even though they're the defending champions of the NFC South. New Orleans, everyone was about a week ago, and they really should have beaten the Eagles. That I don't think people have abandoned the ship. And Atlanta, with Kirky, the last final drive of their second game and going toe-to-toe with the Chiefs, the Atlanta hype feels real. And I can't believe I'm saying these words, but I enjoy Kirk Cousins. He is entertaining. He plays a level of quarterback that's kind of fun, gives guys a shot, and I don't know. Getting to play in a dome all year, that'll probably end up being good for old Kirky. He doesn't move around well. The Talkin Giants guys were harping on that pretty bigly, but he doesn't need to. Kirk's seen a lot of football. He gets the rock out. Rams at Bears, not really. Chicago -2.5. That stinks to high heaven. I think the Rams are a much better team. And I kind of got mad the other day because I was like, wait, Caleb Williams' stat line ended up being pretty good, especially for a rookie and especially for the offense not being up through the league. Then I remembered he had like a 50-yard Hail Mary. So if you take away those 50 yards, Caleb Williams' day is a lot more what felt like Caleb Williams' day. Whatever. I'm not super locked into that game because we've got better games. We've got the Vikings and the Packers. America's Vikings are 3-0. They're going into Green Bay. Maybe Jordan Love is back. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's Malik Willis's season. Green Bay -2.5 at home. Jordan Love was game time last week that I'd like to assume he'd be in this one. That is going to be a fun football game in one of the games of the weekend. 2 of the better coaches, 2 of the better under-the-radar NFL coaches. Go look at Matthew LaFleur's career record and Kevin O'Connell, who every year, tall, handsome coach, gets a little more love. Steelers are trying to go 4-0 at the Indianapolis Colts. And I wouldn't bet the Colts. Colts are -1.5. They're 1-2 on the year now. Their only win is over Chicago after losing to Green Bay and Houston close. Pittsburgh's defense is for real for another year in TJ Watt and Tomlin, and we've done the whole thing. I listened to a Tomlin quote before this because he refused to name Justin Fields the week 1 starter, and he just said, there's no need because they're 3-0. Why even talk about it? Be about it. Eagles, Bucks, yuck. Hopefully it's a fun game. Bengals, Panthers. Wow. I was just going to say I was going to announce the Bengals are about to get their first win, but Andy Dalton against his former team, that will be entertaining. I can't tell you what's going to happen in that Bengals-Panthers game, but Joe Burrow and the Bengals trying to get their first win on the board this season against the Carolina Panthers, who hope is a dangerous thing. I wouldn't be surprised if that stadium is sneaky just rocking, going from joke of the league to one of the better offensive performances we've seen this year. That's kind of must-watch. I watched that game over Eagles-Bucks, 10 out of 10. And I like Baker. Texans-Jaguars. The Jaguars are 0-3. The Texans are 2-1. Texans got punched in the mouth by the Minnesota Vikings. Like the bounce back for them, and kind of the Jaguars are another loss away from fading in the abyss. And I think the stat I saw, because if you remember, the Jaguars limped to the finish line last year. I think the Jaguars have lost their last 8 games. Let's double check. No, that's not true. They won one against Carolina New Year's Eve of last year. Otherwise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I think they're 1-8 in their last 9. Doug Peterson, not exuding a ton of confidence right now. And Trevor Lawrence, also #saying same in Houston. After Houston got their butts kicked and they're going to be motivated, I don't know. Could be the start of the end for the Jaguars. Anything else at the 1 p.m.? No. So, okay, your sneaky great game that's awful to watch, Bengals-Panthers, fire it up. Vikings-Packers should be good. I'm in on that. And Saints-Falcons, I think, will be entertaining. So, I think it'll be a fun 1 p.m. slate to get started. In the 4, Commanders at Cardinals. Where's everyone at with the Commanders? Jaden Daniels, I don't know if any of you tuned into the live stream. We did Giants, Commanders. I've loved Jaden Daniels ever since I got to watch, well, obviously the breakout year at LSU. The way he plays is so smooth and under control, and the running style is clean. But the passing style is amazing, and the story that keeps getting told, or at least I've heard on Rosillo a ton of times, they had to beg him to make, like, dangerous passes. Like, he had an interception streak going in college, and Brian Kelly, his head coach, was like, no, dude, like, throw balls with some risk. Like, we need to get the ball downfield. And, man, if you watch that Cincinnati game, looked like the light bulb was starting to click. I don't know. I think he's that guy, and we are a win. If they go into Arizona and win, which isn't necessarily easy, but him and Kyler will be a fun little back and forth. But if he does it and they go to 3-1, Jaden Daniels and the Commanders, there might be a new team in the NFC East that's like an actual threat. How weird would that be? Not the Cowboys, not the Giants. Eagles I'm still out on. They're going to be good. We're going to wake up and the Eagles are going to be 6-2, but whatever. Patriots, Niners, not really. Niners are 9.5 points favored. They're missing McCaffrey, Debo. They're losing guys on defense. I think Hargrave went down. Still 9.5 point favorites over the Patriots because they are 1-2. I don't know if that's going to be a great watch. Although Brock to 3rd and Juwan was a lot of fun the other day. Ooh, it's waiver day, huh? Pre-recording this. Got to get all that done. Browns, Raiders, absolutely not.
No thanks.
No. But that's why we have Chiefs, Chargers. The Chiefs, 3-0, heading in to play the Chargers. The Chargers got their first loss against Pittsburgh. I'm a Harbaugh guy. I'm a Herbert guy, although he got banged up, and he'll probably be questionable for this game. Their wins against Vegas and Carolina, not as sexy as some other teams around the league. And then they lose at Pittsburgh, which teams will do a lot this year. KC is going to be a fun test for them. At home, which they do have the worst home field, I think, in pro sports right now. So that's not much of an advantage, but that's going to be fun to see. That's hopefully the start of what could be a really fun Chiefs-Chargers rivalry between Mahomes and Herbert, Reed and Harbaugh. There's a lot of good football energy on the field there. That should be a fun one. And then Sunday night, fighting off the scaries with Bills-Ravens, the 3-0 Buffalo Bills. Embarrassed the Jaguars at the party. They've looked good. Ever since they went down to Arizona in their first game, Josh Allen and the boys have been completely bopping. They rolled Miami. They rolled Jacksonville. Baltimore is 1-2. Fun video of Lamar, like, not wanting to celebrate on the team plane on the ride home. That was kind of cool. Baltimore is a favorite, and you kind of understand why, but you also kind of don't. That is going to be a fun one. So I guess leave your Sunday night open. That's going to be a great watch. And it's here. It's here. Breaking news. Playoff baseball's on its way. Make sure you're subscribed. Tell them about Uncle Dan BBD.
Talkin Jake is a production of Dan Patrick Productions, John Boy Media, and Workhouse Media.